Hi Scorpio, this will be 4 cards representing what your ex is going through and what's potentially coming out for them. Now let's begin here Scorpio and see what's happening with your exes. Okay, so you've had a couple of cards flip over. So the 10 of Cups, Queen of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. So the 10 of Cups is actually a really beautiful, wonderful card of happily ever after. It's about looking to the rainbow in the sky. It's about being optimistic and hopeful for a beautiful, lovely future. For some of your exes, I feel as though they're really wanting that. They're really wanting the happily ever after. They're really wanting the happy family home, children. You know, they really want this beautiful commitment and long-term promising commitment that they're going to find it. For some, it might be with you. You could rekindle the romance. I definitely see a lot of clinging happening here with the 4 of Pentacles and definitely with the Queen of Cups. And you are the Queen of Cups. You're Scorpio, so you rule the water element. However, for some, I feel like they're going to find their happily ever after with the person they date after you. Not necessarily straight after you, but for some, they're going to end up, you might find out that the next relationship they have is going to turn into something long-term. They're going to buy a home with this person. They're going to get married. They're going to have children. They're going to get that commitment that they so longed for and perhaps didn't work out with you, that they're going to find it with someone else. However, for some, I feel like some of your exes are still clinging to the idea of a happily ever after with this Queen of Cups, which is you. So for some of you, your exes are still clinging to this idea that you are in their future and that you are the person they're destined to be with. There's a very strong belief here that you are their happily ever after. So for some, I feel like there's still a lot of love, you know, a lot of hope still, regardless of what's happened to your situation. Or in your situation, in your relationship. The 10 of Cups is a lot of your exes are still very hopeful that you can come together and you can still have a future and you can still make it work. For some, they could be obsessed with the idea of having this beautiful long-term relationship and future with you. Maybe it's, you know, they're clinging too much to this idea and it's not going to happen. Maybe this is something you've completely closed yourself off to, having a future with this person. However, for some, I still feel like they're either really clinging to this idea, and for some, you could definitely rekindle this romance, this relationship. It doesn't have to be right away. They could be going through a few relationships before they come back to you and rekindle a relationship, and you finally do get your happily ever after, and they'll feel emotionally abundant with a water sign. This could be you or someone that's, again, under a water sign, but there's different elements. You have earth and you have fire here as well, so there's a lot. Could be a lot of people this person is meeting. But yes, there's definitely a possibility for some of you to rekindle and have a happily ever after with your ex, this very important person. Now, Scorpio, next card you have is the Queen of Cups. This is you. So for some, you're still very much on your ex's mind. They're still emotionally clinging to you, emotionally hung up. For some of your exes, you are the only person they've been in love with. You are the only person they consider to be the Holy Grail, which is what she holds here. So they've really put you on a pedestal. You know, there's hurt, there's clinging. Someone's definitely doing clinging. Could be you, but I feel it's more them. They're clinging to this idea. They're still very hopeful. You know, when you have the Queen of Cups here. So if it's not you, it's definitely someone around them coming in that's going to emotionally either fulfill them, and they're going to fall in love with this person and have this happily ever after, wholeheartedly commit to this person. Or they're going to find financial, like it's sort of, not financial, sorry, emotional abundance, but it's almost like being at peace with what's happened sometimes too. It's almost like overcoming the emotional obstacles and reaching new emotional heights and feeling emotionally enlightened. So maybe this relationship has, maybe the way it happened, the way it ended has really made your ex see the rainbow in the sky, that there is possibility to love again, and they have learned about themselves and they've emotionally become enlightened, you know, with your past relationship. but it's definitely a water, it could be water, earth, or a fire that's fulfilling them and going to offer them a happily ever after here. Or they're at peace, or they're going to rekindle a relationship with you, and that's going to really emotionally fulfill them. Now, the Four of Pentacles is the Four of Pentacles is this clinging to money, clinging to an idea. It could be possessiveness. It could be unhealthy obsession here. Maybe it's finances. Maybe your ex was so involved in their job that they neglected, this family life. Maybe they were just so hung up on earning money and doing well at their career, or maybe they're clinging to the thought of you, or desperately clinging to someone else that can offer them that happy family home. For some of your exes, I feel like they might meet someone with children and couple up with this person and play stepfather or stepmother later down the track to this person. For others, you could be splitting up, and there could be a hoarding of, finances, and you need to delegate and share assets, finances, etc., material possessions, and they're really clinging. They're not willing to give them up. I feel for a lot of your exes, they're going to be still clinging to the idea of you for quite some time, but then they're going to meet someone that's going to offer them this happily ever after. There's messages of love here, though, for your ex. There's definitely people showing interest. The Page of Wands, this is someone that's coming in around them that's definitely very playful, adventurous, could be under a fire sign. Someone that's, very spontaneous, very motivated, always on the go, very youthful, very playful. There could be a strong sexual chemistry with this person as well. It's really enticing your ex. But a lot of messages of action and movement. So there's movement regarding a relationship. It could be someone with children. It could be you if you have children together. So the Page of Wands is, it's also lust. There could be some sort of brief encounter with an ex physically. There could be an exchange of playful messages, a bit of innocent flirting. Or if it's not you, then it's definitely someone else around them that's pursuing them, that's after them, but they're still clinging to something else. So whether they're clinging to a job or your past relationship together, they could be clinging to this for quite some time and only later open up and find out that this person could emotionally fulfill them, and they will end up, it could even start off with something physical, and then they end up having children and a marriage and a happy family home with this person. So there's definitely settling here. Whether it's in the near or distant future, there's definitely, I feel like there's children and a happy family home in the path of your ex. It's definitely something that they're going to experience in their life at one stage or another. Whether it's adopting children, coupling up with someone who has a large family already, or it could be you rekindling the romance. I feel like they would make a really good mother or a really good father, and maybe, this wasn't meant for you, for the two of you, but I feel like children and a happy family home would really fulfill them in ways they didn't think possible. Maybe they were immature at the time, they weren't ready, but when they are ready, they will wholeheartedly commit to this family life. It could be that someone's clingy around them. It could be a water sign. It could be you. You could be really, really clingy still. You could be sending them flirty messages, trying to instigate something as well. So, but I hope this has been insightful for you, Scorpio.